Okay. I listen to way too much since this pandemic's been going crazy. I've been listening way too much to talk radio. So you gotta be patient with me and all this stuff, and I mean, just sitting here talking about it. Okay, I am reading I Will Take My Stand by 12 Southerners that I got at the library. It was a book they were throwing away. Um, did I get this one? Did I pay for this one? Because they mainly discard books for uh, to get funds, and this was probably just it randomly in the book. No, I paid for this one. Yeah, I paid the 50 cents for it. Yeah, it just was interesting. Okay, the book is from 1930, first edition, and I'm at page XIV, which is 14 of the introduction. Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and read. My reading is so bad. But I'm going to go ahead and read it, and I know this book is probably going to be very, very controversial just for me reading it. It's weird with all the stuff going on today. Okay, turning to conception as the grand ends to which the evil of modern labor, we find that we have been deceived. We have more time in which to consume and many more products to be consumed. Yeah, this is 1930, but we're in 2022. By the tempo of our labors, communities com- communicates itself to our satisfaction, and these also become brutal and hurried. The constitution of the natural man probably does not permit him to shorten his labor time and exchange his consuming time indefinitely. He has to pay the penalty um, in sat, satiety and aimlessly. I think that's what that is. Satiety, satiety and aimlessly. The modern man has not lost his sense of vocation. Oh, they got big words. And I have trouble sometimes with words and even though I got this marker to help me do it, it's still all these words are going do 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 do. Okay. Religion can hardly expect to flourish in an industrial society. Religion is our submission to the general intent of a nature that is fairly inscrutable. Inscrutable. It's a funny word. It is the sense of our role as creatures within it. But natural, by nature, industrialized, transformed, by nature industrialized, transformed into cities and artificial habitations, manufactured into commodities, is no longer nature, but a high simplified picture of nature. We receive the illustration of having power over nature, and lose the sense of nature as something mysterious and contingent. The God of nature under these conditions is merely a amiable expression or a superfluency. Yeah, that's what it says. And the philosophy understanding ordinary carried in the religious experience is not there for us to live. And it's got the squiggly line, and then it goes to a different topic. So all these squiggly lines in this introduction is different topics, paragraph topics. Whew. And they're short and long, and whew, and I'm on on time constraints. Oh, it's weird. Okay. Nor do the arts have a proper life of industrialism, with the general decay of sensibility which attends it. Art depends, in general, like religion, on the right attitude to nature, and in particular on a free and disinterested observation of nature is that occurs within leisure. Well, yeah, that's true. Whether the creation nor the understanding of works of art is possible in an industrial age except by some local or unlikely sub, uh, suspicion of the industrial drive. So that paragraph was just talking about art, which what I do a lot. So it's in an industrial, that's really true, that in this industrial age it's just considered leisure. It's not, and then some of it is so academic and so washed up. Yeah. And I come to a squiggly line. Okay, we go to another paragraph, and it's got amenities. The amenities of life also suffer under the curse of strict business or industrial civilization. They consist in such practices as manners, conversation, hospitality, sympathy, family life, romantic life, in the social exchanges which reveal and develop sensibility in human affairs. Yeah, getting 1930, and this is weird. This is getting really, really weird. Okay. It If religion and the arts are found on the right relations of man to nature, these are found on the right relations of man to man. Hmm. Apologetics of industrialism are even inclined to admit that its additional process may be upon its victims the spiritual effects just described, but they think that all can be made right by extraordinary education efforts, by all sorts of cultural industrialization instructions and endowments. They would cure the poverty of the contemporary spirit by hiring experts induct to induct it in spite of it in the historical culture. By salvation is hard, but salvation is and hardly to be encountered on that road. The trouble with the life pattern is to be located at the economic base, and we cannot rebuild it by the pouring of soft materials from the top. The young man the young men and women in college, for example, if they are already placed in the false way of life cannot make more than the inconsequential acquaintance that the arts and humanities transmit to them, or else the understanding of the arts and humanities will but make them more wretched in their own destruction. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it says. Huh. I got the squiggly line again. So it goes into college stuff too. Talk about the same stuff. How ironic this is. You got to think this is oh, it's just ironic. To me, it's ironic. Anyway, okay, let me get back to this. The humanists are too abstract. Humanism, properly speaking, is not an abstract system, but a culture, the whole way in which we live, act, think, or feel. It is a kind of imaginary balance of life lived out in a definite social tradition. And and in the concrete, we believe that this the genuine humanism was rooted in the agrarian life of the old South and other parts of the country that shared in such a tradition. It is not an exact moral check deserved derived from the classics. It is not a soft material poured on from the top. It was deeply founded in the way of life itself, in its tables, chairs, portraits, festivals, laws, marriage, customs. We cannot recover our native humani- native humanitism by adopting some standard of taste that is critical enough to question the contemporary arts but not critical enough to question the social and economic life which they are ground. Okay, that just went a little bit over my head. And then the next section is a long one. And I don't think I'm long winded enough to get this through, but I'm going to try. Okay, the temple of industrial life is fast, but that is not the worst of it. It is exhilarating. Yeah, because right now we're in the technological first, so it's different. Merely some difference. It is ideal. The ideal is not merely some set form of industrialism, which so many stable industries industries, but industrial progresses or an incented expression of industrialization. Oh, crazy words. It never proposes a specific goal. It intimidates the indefinite series. Okay, I'm going to stop right here because I'm coming on a break. Okay, so basically, this book from the 1930s is kind of foreshadowing what we're going through now and what's going through in uh, this pre-pandemic life that we are living. Um, this book was written a little bit after World War One, so they really hadn't the World War Two hadn't even started yet, and everything. Well, pre little bits and pieces of it. You are listening to Loretta Nash Show, and I'm coming on a break, and I'll see you in a bit.